It's day 2 at Wimbledon and we're still going through the first round and the sun is shining. Another hot day, even hotter than yesterday. And just like yesterday, more big seeds went out. We've had Zverev going out, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula and some others as well. We're going to speak about it and all of the other drama for day 2.
Day 2 in the books, and as JG said in the intro, it's been another hot one, but the heat stops here and maybe the upsets will stop on day 3. The big one to talk about, I would say, on day 2 is my champion, Coco Gauff, out in round 1, and also fellow American, my semi-finalist, Jessica Pegula, also out in round 1. Biggest shocks, I think, so far, to have two such high-seeded players going out so early on. And I think is it the first time in the Open era where 2 of the top 3 seeds have lost in the first round of a major on the women's side. That's pretty insane. What you got to say about it, JG?
Well, Yastremska turned up. She was incredible today, and Coco Gauff could not breathe. We had a good friend of ours inside the stadium watching it live, and he was blown away by the performance of Yastremska. So we've got our on-ground correspondent who was giving us some feedback, saying how much he loved her performance. Coco had no answers. I don't think she played terrible, but definitely not as good as she can play. And it's going to come back to you as well, because on this podcast over the years we've been doing it, there's a lot of JG this, JG that. Why is he picking him? Why is he picking that? And I just want to bring up something which I've been preparing, and that is predictions over Grand Slams. So I said to Ben on the last episode where we did the draw preview, I said, you're not going to beat me on this women's draw preview. Historically, I always do better than you on the women's. Say always. Let's put that as in brackets, 80% of the time. Majoritarily, I will always do better than you. Here again, I'm going to smash you. I'm going to smash you out the park. And something I'm going for, just to alert everyone on the channel, is I'm actually going for the Grand Slam of predictions. And that's what I'm going to call it. Ooh. And that is where you do a clean sweep of everything in Grand Slams predictions-wise. So I'm going to bring this. I don't think I can. You have to remove this and then we put it up there.
There we go.
So this is all of the predictions we've done this year for Grand Slam. So Australian Open, I was 143rd. You was 216. Roland Garros, I was 27. You was 42. That one was very, very close. And it only come down to Ben Shelton doing better than Tsitsipas. You put too much on Tsitsipas at Roland Garros.
Never again.
The back end was very close. Women's wise, I've not had my best year, I must admit. 265 at the Australian Open, Roland Garros 187, but it's still better than you. And I'm confident in Wimbledon. I'm going to win these 2 as well. So I'm going to put it to you, Ben, on this channel, because there's always a lot of people saying to me, what's wrong with your predictions? What are you going for that for? You've gone for Coco Gauff to win this Wimbledon. She's out in the opening round. So what is going on, Ben, with your predictions? And are you going to be able to stop both sexes, the men's and the women's Grand Slam, the JG Slam? That's what I'm going to call it. Is it possible?
Well, they don't call me recency bias, Ben, for no reason, and it's clearly caught me out yet again at this Grand Slam. Coco Gauff, she didn't have enough time to prepare. I completely ignored the fact that she was terrible in Berlin and just went straight in and just hoped. I was just on a bit of I was still like riding the Roland Garros train. I'm just so happy for her. I thought maybe this is she's just gonna go and win everything now. Not the case. She's still young. She's still learning. And grass, quite clearly, is probably a worse surface. I think we can all agree on that now. And she has a lot to learn, because it's a really difficult thing to come from clay to grass. Not many people can do it. And Coco's even admitted in her post-match press conference that she doesn't quite know how to do it yet properly, because she normally likes a week off before slams, and there's not really a chance to have one before Wimbledon. she's going to have to learn. She's still young. I'm confident maybe in a few years' time that she may be able to bridge the gap. But on this one, send out the firing squad, put me up against the wall. If you're in the comments section,
I don't think we need to go to that extreme. I want to just ask you, Ben, so far we're 50% through the year of slams, a little bit more because we've started Wimbledon. You've lost every single slam, men and women, against me. Can you break it? Are you going to get JG slammed all year round?
I think maybe the men's Wimbledon. Hopefully I can do better on that one. But if Sinner wins that, then I'm screwed, really, aren't I? I think you've got that one in the bag. If Sinner, he looked pretty damn good today as well. So we can get onto that. The US Open might be my saving grace. But I've got to be a little bit, I say a bit more tactical, but sometimes the form book goes out the window and you just got to judge players on how good they are as a player, not look at any form, not look at anything else. There's going to be some new tactics coming out, and I've got to not be so blasé with my picks. And I think this is all of my chickens coming home to roost, because I was being a little bit too braggadocious on the last podcast, saying my predictions were quite good, and now look what happened.
Well, they're not bad. They're just not as good as mine.
Yeah, but look what happened. I was like, yeah, I said Bolter would beat Badosa. And then everyone in the comments was like, all right, calm down. It's not that. And look what happens now. Coco Gauff out, Pegula out. And another big name went out. I don't think any of us saw it coming. Sasha Zverev also out. The names keep tumbling. Should we bring up the list?
Yeah, let's go through the new list. Is this a Morgado special?
This is just the men's side.
No, it's not. It's Tennis TV. Morgado's been updating his one.
Yeah,
it is a record, I believe. So we're at a joint record, and we've still got one player to play. Who is it? Remind me on the men's.
Not sure.
Nakashima, has he finished?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't
think Nakashima finished, and he is a seed. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, play suspended against Boo. He's 2 sets to 1 up, but there is a potential for it to be the outright record, because you never know. He could lose in 5. But regardless of that, so many seeds have tumbled. The biggest one being Zverev today. I'm not surprised based off the first day showing before it got suspended with the curfew.
Yep.
Rinderknech was brilliant.
Oh, it's down the wrong hole.
Rinderknech deserved it, and I'm glad he won. Everyone seemed to really enjoy it as well inside Wimbledon. They were cheering for Zverev's downfall, and it's happened. And Zverev is only a good backhand. That's all he is, I feel, at the moment. He doesn't have much else going. His serve, he's sort of locked it down. Forehand quality is poor. There was some statistics to support. I think his average at one point during the match the other day was like 5 point something. Really low. And well, people have said he's the greatest player to never win a Grand Slam. He's definitely never going to win a Grand Slam. I'm so confident in that. It's unbelievable. Every single one that passes, I feel like it's going to become less and less likely that he can come back to win one. And we're seeing a change of the guard big time. Tsitsipas famously said a quote 3 or 4 years ago, might have been at Roland Garros, saying that they're here, him, Zverev, Medvedev, they're here to beat the big three, and they're ready. Oh, you got you got it?
Yeah, I had that one ready as well.
I don't actually have a tweet, by the way, for it. That's great. I didn't even know you saw this. I remember it. So that's good. That's handy. And Tsitsipas explains why Medvedev, Zverev, and he will be the new big three. Well, it never, ever went that way at all. And I think it's now official. They're the lost gen completely.
Well, yeah. And I think got to give some credit to some trolling that's been going on, obviously, on Twitter. They're coming out with some good one-liners. We have Medvedev, a good one from Swish. I think this one is a good one. We finished with Swish last time. We'll start with Swish this time. The haters said he couldn't do it. The haters said he'd never win a Grand Slam. And they were correct. Honestly, great call from the haters. So there you go. Sasha Zverev. I think we're all having a bit of fun with it as well. Obviously, Rinderknech. We're going to have to say that name for a whole nother round, which is just dreadful.
It's not that hard. Rinderknech.
Rinderknech. If you look at his name and break it down, it actually does make more sense. I did look at it earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic from him. And him in his post-match interview as well. He was actually so excited. He was like, "Oh, every time the crowd goes woo," he said, "I feel like whoa, like my whole body goes crazy." So he was literally living off the crowd. You see his other half in the crowd who was just willing him to win the whole thing. Definitely played better. Zverev didn't play like with any confidence again in those big moments. I think we said it in the last slam. He just doesn't go for shots. He had the one rally that comes to mind. He had a smash. He could have smashed it quite comfortably. He just went, tapped it back to him. And then he had a volleys it in the net. I was like, this is just terrible. And that was, I think it was on a break point or something like that. So that just summed it up for me. If Zverev is not prepared to go for shots in the big moments, then he's obviously something not quite right up there that he's dealing with. And he's come out and he's even said it, that he's in a really bad sort of state right now. And he said that he'll consider therapy at the moment. He feels lost. He doesn't know what's going on, really. It's all mental. He feels very alone out there on the court. Yeah, he's struggling mentally since after the Australian Open. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a tough one because he is a fantastic player. As much as we joke around, he has got the ability to really do well in a Grand Slam, more so than Tsitsipas, I think.
Yeah.
Who's also having a similar bad time. But he's out, and I just don't see it getting any better anytime soon because there's a lot of players now who I think can challenge the rest of the tour, and we've seen that today again at Wimbledon with some other really good results from players who they've not got much experience on the grass courts, but yet they've turned up and they're playing extremely well. I mean, we saw it the other day with Fonseca. He seems to always do well at Grand Slams, winning his first round matches. Musetti is someone who's actually playing very well at the moment.
Right.
And Monfils, let's be honest, he's someone who's been here for some time. And that is probably a good match to speak about. I know I'm yo-yoing all over the place. We'll speak about Djokovic in a second, but I feel like let's just quickly touch on Monfils because that is another big seed who's gone out in Ugo Humbert. And Monfils, it's not the first time we've seen him go to 5 and win as well. The oldest player in the draw, but physically so fit. And I never doubted him at all the moment it went to 5. I always knew he was going to win that one. Great for my bracket yet again.
Yeah.
I know it's bad for your bracket, which I love to see. And all in all, I would love to see him keep going through the draw, but I don't know about that because I think he's got a tough one right next.
It's actually shocking to me. That was one of the biggest shocks for me of the whole day. I don't know why. I just thought Humbert is so good on grass that he would beat Monfils, and I was fairly confident with that as well. But credit to the legend that is Gauff Monfils.
He is a legend.
Facing Fucsovics in the next round.
Oh, okay. So that's a winnable one.
And then potentially Shelton in round 3.
Yeah, that's where I think it's going to be too tough.
I still think potentially winnable, though. If he keeps playing like this, his movement's not compromised. He still gets around the court. He played a 5-set match and won yet again. How does he keep doing this? I mean, I know that we look at Djokovic and we sort of take it for granted. They're sort of similar ages, and we think Djokovic, we expect it from him. For some reason, I don't know why I don't expect it from Gauff Monfils, but I should. He keeps on. He's playing some of the best tennis that he's ever played right now over the past year.
Yeah, agreed.
It's amazing. Well played, Gauff Monfils. I won't doubt you anymore this year. I'm going to be putting him a bit further in some brackets, or maybe I won't because maybe that's what's helping him. I don't want to curse Gauff Monfils. That's the last person in tennis I'd want to curse because it's such a nice guy. We've met him on multiple occasions, and hopefully get to meet him maybe again later this year as well. But I want to speak about somebody else. We're going to dart around.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've got a dart from 1 5-set to another 5-set.
Not Harriet Dart.
No, Harriet Dart. She's no longer in. She's gone. She's darted off. I want to speak about Bublik because we're talking about upsets. Lots of people are talking about him coming into this tournament, and it seems that the Halle curse has come back again.
I knew you was going to bring this up. This This stat is ridiculous because it's not even really much of a curse. As much as we was hyping it up, I remember when we was doing podcasts in 21 and 22, and we were speaking about it then after Umba and Hurkacz, and then nothing happened. I think we called it every single year afterwards, and it never come about, and now it's come back.
Yeah.
Bublik losing. I'm not that shocked. The way things have gone this tournament, I'm not surprised. There was a quote from Bublik during the match. I don't know if you've got it, saying, here we go, you've got everything today. I don't know how you've seen these. I've not sent them to you, but this is great. Yeah, Bublik en route to a 5-set loss to Munar said, talking about Munar, guys won 3 matches on grass and he's moving like he's Djokovic. He was laughing to himself, very frustrated, and he's not the only one because Medvedev had a similar reaction when he was playing against Bonzi. It can happen, and this year it's happening more to everyone, it seems. No one is safe. Someone who will be very pleased with this, though, I think, and the real winner with Bublik going out is Jack Draper, because we know how difficult his route through to win a Wimbledon was. It's got a little bit easier now Bublik's gone.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got Marin Cilic next, which is going to be, I say, very tough match. Cilic won in straight sets today. I think we didn't really give this first round match enough respect on Munar, really. But based upon how he played Alcaraz at Queen's, he actually looked really, really good. And if he hadn't have played Carlos in that first round, who knows who would have played? Who knows how deep he'd have gone? But the fact he ran him super close and he won Queen's, I know you can't do tennis maths, but it is that level of performance he's brought out again. He's beaten Bublik.
And I feel like in a heat wave, Munar's surely going to thrive. Spanish Munar just loves the heat. He can handle the 33 degrees.
And he's just one of those players who's just very frustrating to play. Gets literally everything back into court. He just scampers around, getting everything in. And he's quite good at finishing off long rallies as well. But yeah, he finished off Bublik today, and another seed tumbling out. I'll go back to the list so we can see them. Obviously, what number was he? Bublik, 28. Musetti, we haven't spoken about him, but was this as much of a shock? I think we were a bit worried about his actual level of fitness coming in, and I think it was just proven, really. It wasn't an easy first round match against Basilashvili, which we know he can turn it on against anybody in certain matches, but Musetti didn't really look at the races. He lost the first set, came back for the second, but as soon as
injured for me,
didn't look good enough. Didn't look himself, and didn't look like the semi-finalist at Wimbledon.
Lovely jacket, though. Lovely jacket. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't put anything past him.
Nice, was it? Bottega Veneta.
Of course, he's got every brand calling out for him right now.
I wonder how much his jacket cost. Have you seen it? It's quite suave.
Let's bring it up just so that everyone can have a little look.
I thought you'd be right on that. I know you love your fashion.
Oh, you know me. I'm wearing a Karatsev t-shirt tonight. He's not even in Wimbledon. Had his day. Here we go. Bottega Veneta. You are correct. Here we go. Yeah, deserved better. Only got one match. But never mind. It didn't get worn out, so it can go into the wardrobe nicely pressed, and maybe bring it back next year. Who knows? Do they even wear the same thing twice, these tennis players?
I feel like he's rocking it quite well. He'll probably get a deal with them after the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they all get these deals. All these Italians have good deals, don't they? Even Fanini, what's he have? Armani, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all got some good connects over in Italy, those fashionistas. But yeah.
Sinner, who's he with? Gucci.
Yeah, they've all got something good going on. Yeah, you're not short of nice brands in Italy, are you? So got some Prada. Probably there'll be someone like that coming in next. But yeah, anyway, back to the list. Who's the other main person to speak about today?
Shapo went out today.
Yeah,
I don't have much to say about Shapo. I think I have nothing left to say at all about him. I feel he's just a player who can lose. It's not that shocking, but he can beat people. He can lose. He's just a bit of an irrelevant player in the sense of I can't really speak about him anymore.
Well, some people you are going to have to speak about.
I'm thinking about Pegula.
We could speak about Pegula in a sec, but as we're on the men's, this one might shock you. One of these men will be in the Wimbledon quarterfinals. Here you go. List these off.
Rinderknech.
There he is.
Rinderknech. It just jumps off the page. I think he's doing it.
So we've got Borges, Harris, Mokazuki, Hachanov, Majlazak, Quinn, Garin, or Rinderknech.
I told you to buy some shares in Mochizuki. I said he's the player to watch. He's going to be here one day, and he could be in a Wimbledon quarterfinal.
Well done for calling Fritz as well. You said Fritz would get the job done, and he did. I was so happy that he got it done as well. Really, I'm not trying to be like I have favoritism, but I didn't want Krejcikova to win after that curfew thing. I just needed Fritz to win just to restore.
That's not his fault, was it?
Yeah, but just to restore, just the tennis gods.
It's not his fault though.
Doesn't matter.
I wanted to see more bombs. I wanted him to go for a serving match with Shelton, who can hit the fastest serve.
I still don't. It doesn't sit quite right with me that the fastest serve ever at Wimbledon, he lost the point. That doesn't sit right with me. Like Fritz returned it, and
it was a really good return. Well, he just put the racket there and blocked it back, but it was a good return.
I think for me, the fastest ever serve has to be an ace.
Well, that's just ridiculous logic, Ben. It's not the fastest serve, is it?
No, but so when you go back and watch it, I just want to see an ace. When you go, oh, what was the fastest serve? You go back and then you see an ace. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, I think it will happen. It's only gonna. We could
Shelton
even see that Shelton do something mad this tournament, or we'll have to wait for next year for Krejcikova to whip another one down.
Yeah, indeed. Right, that's enough talking about that. You want to talk about Jess Pegula just to probably rub it in my face a little bit.
Well, where did you have Pegula in your bracket? Just why don't you let everyone know?
At the Gauff Pegula semi-final. Oh, let's bring up one more. 3 out of my 4 semi-finalists are all out. Kim Win-jung, Jess Pegula, and Coco Gauff, all in round 1. Yeah. Not much more I can say about that other than terrible. Vondrausova still going strong. I'm holding her aloft. She's the only one I can cling on to right now.
Well, Jose Margado, he said about the match, it was 58 minutes, 6-2, 6-3 to Cocciaretto. The odds were crazy. No one saw it coming.
Nope.
And he described it as an absolute masterclass from the Italian. But Pegula was shocking. Level, attitude, body language, bizarre scenes. And then after the match, she was asked about whether she'd rather play best of 5. She was like, no, I'm happy with best of 3. I'll lose interest anything longer. Just didn't seem on it. I think mentally more than anything. She seemed really fatigued, and maybe the tournament before has taken it out of her. Just didn't really have much motivation to play today, it seemed.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I really expected her to just win that match easily, and she made a complete meal out of it. Cocciaretto, I feel that when we talk about players losing, we have to talk about the fact that they did get beaten by someone playing well a lot of the time. Just like Yastremska played well. It does take 2 to tango, but yeah, you'd think on their good day, these players would beat their opposition. But Jess Pegula's not interested in playing best out of 5. Apparently, she said, it's too long. I lose interest watching the matches. They're incredibly physical, men and mental. But do we need that? She said, oh yeah, if they're 5 hours long, she said, I can't. People can't go like 2 minutes without looking at their phone these days. Who's going to watch for 5 hours?
I mean, it is true. It is true.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I agree. I do think that they are too long, but then I still like them because I just zone in and out. For example, Sinner Alcaraz was a ridiculously long match in the final. It was interesting, and I couldn't keep my eyes off it. However, even during that, are you telling me that you didn't look at your phone or go to the toilet or get up and do this or do something while it's on?
Yeah.
Nobody sat there and watched every minute of it intently. If it was a best of 3, If it was a best of 3, then maybe I would have.
Well,
But best of 5 for me, going 5, it's too much. I can't sit there and just watch that for all that. My concentration is not there. Maybe it's a thing of younger people nowadays. I'm not sure. Not that I'm even that young anymore. I can't even say that. I feel like I'm getting older and older. That's what happens. And yeah, it's just I'm kind of with her on it.
Would you sit and watch 3 hours of snooker?
I wouldn't watch over 3 hours of anything.
Yeah, but I
can't watch a movie which is over 3 hours.
I'm only using that as an example because of it's a completely different style of sport where it's quite slow paced. That one you probably can just take your eye off it for a bit. Tennis, there are a lot of breaks. There are a lot of there's a changeover. You've got when they take a bit of time to serve. You notice if they condense down matches and remove all of the breaks, they're actually not that long, tennis matches. But it's all of the breaks that seem to take all of the time. But yeah, Jess Pegula does definitely not want to play best out of 5, and she would prefer it if the men would play best out of 3. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, let's keep it with best of 3 for the women for sure. And 3 seemed like a cursed number because Pegula, the 3rd seed, out. Zverev, 3rd seed, out. And that was it. Someone else who went out who it's actually really upset me, I must admit. Alexandra Eala, we hyped her up. People have been calling for us saying, why are we so obsessed with her? It's just exciting. Come on. I loved what Nike did. They got the little thing for her hair before the match. I was really buying into it all. I was expecting her to beat Krejcikova. Even after Krejcikova won the 2nd set, I was like, okay, this is typical Krejcikova. She's going to lose the 3rd 6-love or something. I've seen this story before. It didn't happen. Krejcikova turned up and wanted to win. She was hungry. She was determined to win. And when she's like that, we know she can go on and win the whole thing because she did it last year.
Yeah, tough first round match really for her. And she didn't really look very good in the first set. I thought Alexandra Eala played
Alexandra Eala didn't look great really for most of the match.
No, the 2nd set, she just seemed to go completely off the boil. I don't know if she was thinking about the fact that she was a set up against the reigning champion. But yeah, you can't be that disappointed, really. A full like somebody who's in their full form, like Barbora Krejcikova, if she hits her form, you're not expecting Alexandra Eala to win that match, really, because you saw how effortlessly she was able to hit winners, Krejcikova, when she was actually hitting the ball clean. And Eala was just doing her best to stay in rallies. And you see the effort and the exertion she was putting into every single shot. And Krejcikova just doesn't have to. Her technique, and she's just been around the block. She just knows what to do in these situations. And yeah, just beat her comfortably. That 2nd set, I was worried it was going to be like a bagel or something, or even in the final set as well. But yeah, credit to Eala. She still showed fight, didn't go down without a few big winners, a few big moments. But yeah, just wasn't enough. And she'll be back. Grass seems like a really good surface for her. Tough draw.
Yeah, definitely. She'll be back, and this is a good experience for her. The first player to represent the Philippines at Wimbledon in the Open era. Let's not forget that. And certainly we're going to see her on this stage again. I'm confident on it. And I think next time she'll be more prepared to go a little bit further. And hopefully she gets a better draw as well. Someone who was very prepared for Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic. We've spoke for over 25 minutes and not even spoke about him yet. He won today, but it wasn't that straightforward, especially after that 2nd set. He lost the 2nd set in a tie-break when he was 5-2 up in that tie-break. And he said that he had a stomach problem and he had some magic potions like he usually does, which fixed his stomach. And then he was fully recovered and back to normal. But before that, he couldn't balance. He looked all over the place. Some people were thinking maybe he's going to pull out. But Well, the miracle potion worked and he bounced back and then won very convincingly, especially when the roof closed. The crowd were all getting behind him. I must admit, I really enjoyed his post-match interview. I thought it was very sincere and genuine. I don't always get that from him. I know he's a good speaker, one of the best on tour, but I just enjoyed his speech afterwards. It just seemed like very, just a normal conversation. He wasn't like putting any kind of act on, and yeah, I think the crowd really was able to engage with it too. And he's into the next round against Dan Evans, which is a very straightforward match in my eyes. It only gets easier for him. Muller did play well in spells, but he's not at the level to beat a Novak Djokovic. And you're crazy to ever think he could have.
Yeah, it was typical Djokovic round one antics, really, for me. Djokovic in 4 in round 1 at Wimbledon. I think the bingo card, that could have been one of the first things you get on there.
Are you worried about the stomach, Ben? Is that a bit of a concern for you?
I don't think so. He always has a few little problems here and there. When you get a bit older, you tend to get a few little knocks, a few little tummy bugs, that type of thing. But he's all right. He's got the relevant doctors and drugs there. Just needed just to settle it. Maybe he just needed something. Maybe a bit of Pepto-Bismol. That might have helped him get a little bit of that in him whilst he's.
Well, I'd love to know what he does take, because I think I could do with it. Especially sometimes when I get up for work and I just can't be bothered to get on the train. Whatever he takes, I think that is exactly what I need in them moments.
Miller had some physio though, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, it didn't seem to work for him though. So maybe he needs whatever Djokovic was having, because he didn't. Nothing really changed.
I don't think it's the same.
And he doesn't have Djokovic's serve either. I feel Djokovic's serve later in years. Shout out to Gary. It is the difference between him and the rest of the tour. I think he's the best server in the world.
Well, that's the one thing that
we don't talk about it, but it's the best serve in the world. It's the most accurate.
That's what they were saying in the commentary. They said it might not be the fastest serve, but they said he's probably the best spot server probably ever. It said up there with him and Federer, probably the best two, of just finding the spots, and doesn't have to be the fastest serve, but they're just so accurate with their serving that they're always nearly an unreturnable, or they're an ace. And they're unpredictable as well, and you never know which way it's going to go. So I just think something that I wasn't really thinking about when we were starting the year and doing the predictions, I had thought in my mind, Djokovic, Roland Garros, that would be where he would be his best. And I thought he was actually incredible at Roland Garros. The match against Sinner, he still played a very high level, and that's why he was confident coming into Wimbledon. He said his level has actually been very high, so he's not that worried, and he thinks he can make a really good challenge at Wimbledon. I think it really benefits him, the fact that everybody else has to have all the warm-up tournaments. Everybody else needs a little bit of adjustment to the grass. He's won Wimbledon 7 times. He normally doesn't have a warm-up tournament. He knows how to play on the grass better than anybody. And if there's any tournament really in a slam that he could win without and sort of catch everybody else cold a bit, Wimbledon's the one. Because he has all the tools. The serve gets him out of trouble here. He can have short points, short rallies, and he could sometimes maybe beat people in straight sets later in the tour. These for early rounds, he gives up sets here and there, but that's because it's his sort of training, I would say, on the grass. He trains in the first few matches, and then when he gets to around about the third or fourth round, there's some straight sets wins, and then you really see him come to life in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then in the final. Who knows? Can he get there this year? I want to see a Sinner Djokovic semi-final this year, and I want to see Djokovic in that final again.
Well, you just mentioned Yannick Sinner. We've not even spoke about the world number one. There's not much to speak about with the match because it was over in a flash. He demolished Luca Nardi. You're saying you want to see a Sinner Djokovic semi-final. I don't think you do, based off the viewing of Sinner. I think it will be more one-way traffic and a Sinner domination. 3 sets or 4 at the very worst. I can't see Djokovic laying a finger on him. I think Sinner is far, far superior. And he has been the best player in the opening round for me, by far. I mean, that bagel he produced in the last set, he's just picking his spots. Looks so comfortable, so effortless, Yannick Sinner, when he plays tennis. Very much like a Roger Federer. I really do see a Federer likeness in him. And Djokovic will not want to play him in a semi-final. But with Djokovic's serve, I do feel like it's that good. It doesn't matter who he plays, he will always be able to remain semi-competitive in the match because of the serve. And that will even things out a little bit. Even if he's to play Sinner, if he serves at his best, we have a good match. We have a close match. But I think Sinner still wins in 3 or 4. But we get a bit of a... I'm not sure how it's going to go some sets. But against other players, if Djokovic serves well, he can beat a lot of players playing quite bad. He doesn't have to play at his best and still beat them because of his serve being that good. And especially the sort of when he gets the first serves in, he's so good at attacking the net when he needs to. His volleys are one of the best, I think, too. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. But Sinner is my MVP of Wimbledon so far.
Yeah, I think I was saying to you off of stream just about the whole Djokovic Sinner thing right now, and this is sort of the last chance saloon for me for Novak Djokovic against Yannick Sinner. I know that the Djokovic fans might probably hate me saying this, but if he loses convincingly to Yannick Sinner on grass, then he's pretty much done it on every surface against Djokovic now. The only one is indoor hard court, which he's probably doesn't even really want to play that anymore anyway. I wouldn't have thought. He doesn't need to. It's more the slams. So if he can't beat him on any of the slam surfaces anymore, it just makes his quest for 25 nearly impossible. And if Sinner is in the tournament, that's the sad reality. But I'm clinging onto the hope that Novak Djokovic still has something special left in the tank. I think that he still wants that 8th Wimbledon title. He wants to get up there with Federer. And he still says he's going to play for a few more years as well. He's not like dismissive. He's not saying, oh, this is my last Wimbledon. He's like, stop saying that. He's like, I'm hoping I can probably come back next year and the year after.
We'll see how he gets on next year at Wimbledon, because I feel like if he's declining, then he won't play, because he needs to be up there to be winning it. But he's been to the final of the last 6 editions of Wimbledon, so he's not packing it up anytime soon, and he shouldn't do either, because the sport's a better place with him in it, and he can beat so many other players at the moment that it makes it interesting when he gets to play an Alcaraz or a Sinner, because there is still that little glimmer of hope, like, could he do it? I'm interested to see it.
That's the good thing.
I don't think it will be so much. And we've seen some matches with, like, look at him in the final last year against Alcaraz. Yeah. That was a beatdown. That was a one-sided final.
Look at him versus Sinner at Roland Garros. It was, even though they were close sets, he still lost them all. Yeah. And that's just what it's like at the moment. Like I said to you before, it sort of feels like they've swapped roles, and Djokovic is now where Sinner was 4 years ago, let's say, and he can be competitive with Sinner, but he doesn't seem to be able to beat him. It's just like that difference now. I'm hoping that on the grass, this is the only place that will be different, and I will be cheering Djokovic all the way. I think Yannick Sinner got lucky, played another Italian in the first round. I think it's a little bit like the F1. When your best drivers coming through, they just say, yeah, just let him through. Come on. He's the one who's going to win the championship this year, Yannick Sinner. So, Nardi, you just take one for the team.
We'll end with this graphic just to remind everyone. And that is that Ben is really struggling to beat me in the predictions. I think I'm going to win both Wimbledon ones as well. And that would mean that I have won 6 on the bounce, going for the calendar slam, the grand slam of men's and women's predictions versus Ben. Let us know in the comment section. Do you think I can do it? And does Ben have anything left in the tank to try and beat me? On the women's, it's looking very dire with his Pegula and Coco Gauff going out. But thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Anything to say, Ben?
I'm ready for day 3. It's going to be a bit cooler tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good thing as well, because I'm sweating right now just doing this. But see you tomorrow for more Wimbledon action.